Hello humans, and welcome to the Let's Quest podcast, where we dive deep into the wonderful world of board games. Every episode I'll be sitting down with a fellow gamer to explore this awesome hobby of ours. We'll start by chatting through what we've been playing lately, then we'll dig into the topic of the week, and finally we'll open the Game Master's mailbag. That's where my guest and I try and find you your perfect game. So, grab a drink, take your seat, and let's quest. So, for this first episode, this inaugural episode, it's just me on my lonesome, which is very unusual and it won't be like that for the rest of it, but a little side quest, indulge me. I wanted to start off the podcast with a quick intro to me and to the podcast itself. So, first off, hello, I'm Andy, and I'm a board game enjoyer and a full-time geek. And why am I starting a podcast, I hear you ask? Well, of course, as a straight, bearded white guy turning 40, I am required to. How else are people going to know my opinions? No, but honestly, this is something that's been on the back burner for ages for me, and I keep putting it off for fear of not getting it perfect. I've even done that in this very iteration of trying to get it working. But there is no bar for success, is what I've realised. This is very much a practice in don't let the perfect get in the way of good. I just want another little creative outlet and a chance to talk more about board games with friends and play some more board games and maybe purchase some more board games. It's something that me and my friends do anyway, is chat about games, and we really enjoy not just the playing, but the sort of, the end game result and then the discussion that comes after it and before. So I thought, well, why not just make something with that, I've got the exact skill set being a photographer and I've got all the kit, so why not? And hopefully you guys enjoy this, whatever this is going to be. As to why you should listen to me, well, I have been told that I have an infectious enthusiasm for board games. I host a weekly game night, so I play a fair few games. And I really do believe that there is a board game for everyone, and I've kind of made it myself sort of proclaimed mission to sort of find that for people. When I hear someone say, I don't really like games or whatever, I'm like, oh, we're going to find it. Whether it's a social deduction or a trick-taking game or a co-op or a competitive, whatever it is, I feel like I get this like burning desire to find something that they're going to like. I'm not always successful, but my hit rate's pretty good. So maybe they're just humouring me. But yes, so I really enjoy recommending games to people. And with all that said, to be honest, my credentials are just that, really. I'm not really much of a board game aficionado by any means. I'm just someone that really enjoys the hobby, and I find the mechanics and social aspects of games really fascinating. And I keep up to date reasonably well with the industry. There's quite a lot of industry now. So yeah, if you vibe with me and my guests, then come and join. That's all I can say, really. So then, what is the subject of this inaugural episode? Well, it's me. It was always going to be me. I just thought it would be a good opportunity to set the scene, as it were, as to me, Andy Heathcote, or Andy Quest, as the moniker I've taken up for this podcast, and just, tell you about me, what I like, what got me into games. So let's start with the gateway. What got me into board games? Well, first off, I'll say that I got into them in my 30s. So it hasn't been that long. And I really, really wish that I had got into them sooner, because I am so in love with them now. But I mostly blame Monopoly. And I have a whole, to be honest, I have a whole video I made just for that, but I found it was a bit too much for the first episode, so I'll put that into the side quest category for later on down the line. But yes, my personal vendetta will be explained fully. So for now, I'll just say that I thought that all board games were like Monopoly. I thought they were slow, sad affairs intended to make everyone playing it hate one another. I did play quite a lot of Magic the Gathering and Pogs when I was at school, and Warhammer 40k I dabbled in, and some regular Warhammer. So I really love that. Luckily, it didn't get its claws into me, because wargaming is a whole different kettle of fish, and TCGs. But yes, I was never really that into board games, more the card games and the war game stuff. And painting miniatures and all that was really great. And then I just was really into video games, to be honest. That's been the mainstay of what I've been playing. So the catalyst for what shifted, right? Like, why did I start playing? Well, I really got into Dungeons and Dragons and the Star Wars RPG called Edge of the Empire. And I would regularly play Werewolf, social deduction game with friends. And then I played this epic game of the Game of Thrones board game. It was when the whole hubbub was happening. And it was with my new neighbours at the time, James. And that really got me onto Tabletop, the show that was on Geek and Sundry, because to learn the rules for this. And, that put me onto a whole bunch of others. That was this thing. So yeah, X-Wing miniatures, Betrayal at House on the Hill. I mean, that game for me, and watching them playing, this story develop as you explore this. For those that don't know, Betrayal at House on the Hill is this sort of co-op. It's semi-co-op because you're cooperative at the beginning. You and these people, these group of weirdos, really go explore this haunted house, and you're revealing it tile by tile. And then, dun dun dun, as you've seen loads of bad omens, suddenly the haunt happens. Everything turns on its head. It turns out one of you is evil or has been possessed, and then they become the big bad guy, and you all have to figure out how to sort of, exorcise them or escape the house or whatever it is. And you just get this book of all these amazing stories. Like I said, I'd been really into tabletop games, and I had a weekly night of playing those with friends. So this suddenly made me realize just how special board games can be, and how, like I said, there is a board game for everyone. Because at the time, I was very much against board games. I thought, nah, I'm not into that. That's boring. No judgment on those that want to play it, but it's not for me. I'd rather just sing songs and tell stories. But this was like just this massive awakening of, okay, you can tell stories in this too. This is exactly what it's for. And so from there, it just snowballed. Sushi Go, Forbidden Desert, Potion Explosion, Space Cadets, Netrunner, LCG, Firefly, the board game. Oh my gosh, I need to get that out. Eldritch Horror, that was full on, but I did really enjoy it. Code Names, Dead of Winter. Oh my gosh, I want to go play these games. Coup, Transforming Mars, Battlestar Galactica. Amazing game. Holy shoot, how good. Sheriff of Nottingham, brilliant. I mean, all these, they're not even that old, right? They really stand up though. But Starflux, that's a cool little cute card game. Dice Throne. Needless to say, I was hooked. So yeah, very much board games became a mainstay in my life. I love playing them, love getting people together and playing them. A space where we can all just put down our phones and actually just chat with each other, interact, have these like fun puzzles. There's some drama and betrayal, make some stories up, and all the time looking at beautiful artwork. Yeah, it just became this huge sort of part of my life that I just really, really enjoyed and still do. And right now, with this weekly game night, Thursday night, that's kind of sacred to me. I will plan quite a lot of my life around that. And the guys and girls that are involved in it, I feel like we all kind of use it as this almost like crutch for our week of like, right, whatever's going on, whatever storm we're in, personally and professionally, we can come to Andy's, we can come to my house, and we can just chill out for a bit, play a game, get lost in the world. And I cannot tell you how good that has felt for me and how important it's been for me. And I can only recommend it to everyone else. So there you go. Who needs therapy? And that game night actually started post-pandemic, right? Of course. That had sort of taught me the lesson of, I need these people around. I need to be seeing people when I can. Don't wait. And I started hosting this weekly game night. And I started by just saying, hey guys, I'm going to be playing a board game, whether or not people show up. but you're very welcome to join in. No pressure. And that was 5 years ago, and we've hardly missed a week. And I even started an annual board game weekend called AndyCon, with an awards ceremony where I log all of our plays, all of our wins, and everything, and I literally do this whole awards ceremony at the end of the year, and it it's been great, and I feel incredibly privileged to have friends that want to play all of these wonderful games, and to have a wife, to be honest, that's happy to let me take up an entire wall of our house to store an ever-expanding board game collection and an evening every week. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So then, all that to say, what's a snapshot of games that I love to play right now? I thought this would be good, so here's my gaming snapshot. The Nemesis series. I've recorded a few of these episodes already, and I'm assure you're going to get bored of hearing that because I basically just talk about that at this point. I love the Nemesis games. I think that they are effectively story generators. They're dynamic game engines that make these amazing thematic, cinematic moments. I have had as much fun and as much drama playing them as I have making up stories in a tabletop role-playing game. Yeah, I think they're just so good. They give this brilliant framework of rules that you can then just, it's like a big sandbox you can go have fun with. And even though they're reasonably, mid-heavy games, a lot of rules there going on, I found that they hook people in so easily. Like, it's so juicy. That hook is so good. It's effectively Alien, the board game. And it's just brilliant. And that element of betrayal, if you want to add that in there, that, generally I start with the co-op, but then you can add that in. So anyway, this is going to become an episode all about Nemesis series, so I'll leave it at that. But that's up there. That's got to be in the top 5, maybe top 3, probably top 3, easy. Okay, I'll move faster through the rest. Blood in the Clock Tower. It's the best social deduction game that's ever been made. It is incredible. I've made new friends with this game by going to Blood in the Clock Tower nights. I've had amazing fun around my house, inviting everyone over, and it's just an amazing game. Go check out No Rolls Barred and Good Time Society and Dropout and loads of other channels that I can't think of right now to go watch their content on Blood on the Clock Tower. Incredible stuff. Leviathan Wilds. Really cool, fun co-op game about climbing these giant leviathans with a team of you to help rid them of these corrupting crystals. It's awesome. It's so... It really shows off teamwork in a game and how you can feel like a cool action hero while you're playing, while you're just sat around a table. Yeah, brilliant game. Return to Dark Tower. This is like a set piece game. It's incredible. It really shows just the sort of the heights, the dizzying heights of board game production that we're at right now. It's got this huge electronic mechanical tower in the center of the table that you drop skulls into and they might pour out onto your kingdom. It's so fun. It's got this perfect amount of perfect weight to it. Yeah, I've just had so much fun with this game, and every time I bring it out, it's a massive hit. So yeah, Return to Dark Tower, and all the expansions are banging, by the way. Arcs, The Blighted Reach. I mean, Arc space game and campaign. I actually only recently finally got the campaign game played. This is Cole Worley and Buried Giant Studios. It's just so good. I'm going to do I have to do a whole episode on it. Incredible game. Again, it's this thing where you've got all these mechanics, and yes, there are quite a few in the Blighted Reach, but once you've got your head around them, they are intuitive enough. And oh my gosh, the stories that can be told with that campaign are just amazing. It's like playing a Twilight Imperium, if you've heard of that, but space epic, but it zooms right in, and it's almost like a Star Wars story with these beautiful acts. They are acts, and you play fates, and it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Well, Andromeda's Edge, massive, big space Euro. So fun. Again, dizzying heights of the board game production here. This is an incredible production. And something about that toy factor just makes the game a whole lot of fun. Aside from the fact, added to the fact, sorry, that it has these amazing board game rules. God, I love rules. Turns out. Okay, real special. Earthborne Rangers. Again, I could talk for so long about this game, but it's a card game. Andrew Navarro and the team at Earthborne Games, they branched off a bunch of them from FFG, which is one of the biggest producers, and they answer the question, how can we make sustainable games? If the others are unsustainable, how can we make a sustainable one? I have met Andrew Navarro, and he told me that his mission with Earthborne Rangers was to make a game that you could be buried with, which is amazing. And I think that is so good. I plan to be buried with mine, of course. It's incredible. And me and Alex, we're playing through a campaign right now, and it feels the closest to an open world RPG video game that any board game possibly could get close to. You're just quite literally on this beautiful map with these beautiful adventures in front of you, and it's the world's your oyster. Go and have fun, go explore, learn who lives where and what kind of creatures and obstacles are out there. And such a great game. Man, I'm really naming some absolute stone cold ones here, but here's a little bit of fun. Hot Streak, fun, silly party game, kind of like you're bidding and betting on who's going to win, but the race is in fact from a bunch of mascots, so they're not great at running or walking or heading in any kind of direction you want them to head, so it's a bit of chaos. Okay, I'm going to speed through these, but Netrunner and Magic the Gathering, those are classics. Come on. D&D, Edge of the Empire, already mentioned them. Oh, they're so good. There's so many good TTRPGs. I will have to just chat about them. Mothership. Oh, so good. An amazing horror game that's just, packed with so much fun. I just got the Daggerheart system. That looks really good. Can't wait to play that. Okay. Who are my favorite creators in the space? I mean, there are literally so many creators that I love and watch all the time. Top of the list has to go to No Rules Barred and Chaotic Neutral. They just, what can I say? They're in the same office as me. I really get on with all of them. I was actually a fan before I even knew they were in the office with the same office as me. And yeah, they're just an incredible bunch of people. They make such great content, from the Blood and the Clock Tower stuff I mentioned. Like their Blood and the Clock Tower games are like the top tier. They've got these digital set that you can get, and they've got a Patreon you can go to get access to so many great games. And then they've also got these in-person, and oh my gosh, these in-person games are just unbelievable. They're so well produced, so well edited. If I were going to point anyone to say, like, where's the best place you could watch some Blood and the Clock Tower, it would be No Rules Barred. And Chaotic Neutral is their kind of sister channel that's all about TTRPGs. And, they've got Dom, who's just an amazing games master, or keeper when he's doing Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, they've just got some brilliant, brilliant content over there. I just can't recommend it highly enough. Next up, Shut Up and Sit Down. These ones are big. You know all these. Oxventure. Oh my gosh, incredible. I remember watching them in their very first D&D episodes. They were in the loading bar, and I lived around the corner at the time, and I was like, oh, I know, I've been in there. And they've just gone from strength to strength. They've done these live shows. They're all so much fun. I mean, I would just say, put that playlist on from season 1 and just enjoy it, because it's such a great ride. And Johnny Chiodini is like a brilliant, brilliant GM. Oh, and so is Luke. I mean, they all are. Andy's Weird West campaigns, they are just so great. Okay, Good Time Society. Becca Scott, so great. Can't recommend enough. No pun included. They do these incredible deep dives. Dimension 20, that's the crew at Dropout. Well, amazing D&D campaigns. You could pick any of them. Dropout is a whole nother subject. Just get a subscription. Mystery Quest. So I somehow, despite the fact that I'm a 40-year-old man who lives in the UK, I somehow missed the Yogscast. the Yogs people in Bristol, but my introduction to them was through Mystery Quest, and I love it. I think that they are making some of the best content. And what's great about it is the videos are great, but you can also just listen to them as a podcast. And that's Tom, the guy who's doing it. Like, his main sort of goal, he says, is that he wants it to be that you can just listen to it. And the editing, they've done this whole soundscape. It's like you're listening to an audio play kind of thing, dramatized version or whatever. It's fantastic. It's the perfect amount of levity and silliness, but mixed with these great themes and these great stories. Wow. Year of the Rat, of the Mothership game that they do. Wow. The cyberpunk cyborg. It's cyborg. I think it's Mork Borg rules, but with cyberpunk elements. Cyborg. That, oh my gosh, come on, it's so good. All right, think of Thema, Spanzinator. Watch it played. If you need some rules, just watch it played before you play. Board Game Co. Neon Gorilla, I've just discovered. He does some great interviews. Gosh, there are just so many, and obviously they're all a million times bigger than me, so I don't know why I'm even talking about them. But just to give you a vibe on me and what I like, there you go. There's so many of them that I think I'm just going to have to do a specific recommend at the end of each episode. The final section of each episode of the podcast will be the Game Master's mailbag. So this is where my guest and I are going to recommend games to people out there in the world based on their answers to my very own gaming personality questionnaire that I've made up. And it's pretty robust. There's some fun questions in there, quite holistic, I'd say. Yes, definitely. If you would like to be recommended a game, then just go to the website in the description. You can fill out the questions, and I'll try and think up some games you might like and tell you on an upcoming episode. You might already have them, you might not. That's what we're going to find out. But hey, we did it. We did the first episode. You're here for it, and thanks very much for that. Is there anything else I should really be talking about? I don't really know. Props? Do you want to see some props? This is one of the original copies, one of the OG copies of Monopoly I found at a local charity shop. And I think once I get to like 10,000 followers, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat all of this. So, yeah. I probably won't do that. It was £2.50 a long time ago in Chelmsford. Okay, that was silly. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I don't think there is. So I'll just end by saying thanks for listening to this. And I'm super excited. If you know anyone that would like to come on, or if you yourself listening would like to come on the show, I would love that. I'm going to start pestering people that I know in industry to maybe come and join me. And so you know who the people who are going to be on the podcast with me. I should have probably done this as a whole segment. Who's going to be on the podcast with me? Well, glad you asked. It's going to be mostly my board gaming group. A lot of them have reluctantly agreed to come along. I've recorded some episodes already, and they're great. I've got some notes, obviously, for them. But yes, I am going to start pestering some of the people that I do know in industry and see if I can get people to chat board games with me. That would be so fun. And I'm also going to be running like a little, YouTube channel next to this, so I'll put up some videos of me playing some silly games and chatting through some bits and bobs. Yes, okay, that's it. Thanks very much. Podcast over. I'm going to try and release one every week. How about that? Episode a week? Yeah, we can do it. All right. Thanks so much. See you later.